Well, hey there, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Island Church Weekly Podcast. We're recording a little bit later this week, so we're recording on Thursday, a little closer to the upcoming weekend, less close to last weekend. But I am joined, as ever, by Pastor Will McGraney. Pastor Will, how you doing today?
It's a good day, Matt.
Yeah, man.
Enjoying it. Actually, coming to the people today from my home office.
I'm
You'll
awesome.
actually see behind me here, these are the world books.
Okay.
To be educated in the past, it was to have gone through those 50. There's 50 books, there's 50 in the volumes. Don't ask me how many I've gone through. Don't ask that question.
I won't. I'm not going to.
But I look really intelligent. If I say something smart, maybe it's one of these guys that have already said it. But it is interesting. That is to be educated in the past. And historically, over the last several centuries, it involved these works.
Great work.
Anyway, so it's a great day. Be studying at home, preparing for Sunday, getting ready.
Yeah, that's great. I had a professor in seminary who used to always tell me that you don't have lots of books because you've read them all, but to remind you of how little you know. I just thought that was good. I was like, you know what? That's right. Like, that's why I have a lot of books. It reminds me how much information is out there that I haven't read. It's a humility tactic, that's for sure. Well, hey, let's dive right in. Let's talk about last Sunday Island Church. Give us kind of the rundown. How was Sunday? What did you preach on? Give us kind of the whole rundown.
Yeah, it was a good Sunday. We the music was good, really encouraging. Sandy and the ladies do a good job. And when we put Hack up there, when he gets up there, he always gets that standing ovation. Well, they don't stand anymore, but he gets an ovation, so I don't get every time I stand up to speak. So anyway, it's good to have them and Hack to help lead us through that. That's really good. And then we've been in the series on Christian practices, and one of those practices is passing the offering plate, or either taking it in a box, or however it might be. And so we talked about that particular practice in the church. And I shared some biblically the concepts of tithing and what that is and what it's not. We certainly, and I want to say here, Matt, to our people, we're so grateful for your giving of your tithes and offerings to the Lord through the church. Really, the gifts are to the Lord. It's in response to obedience to Him, and it's response to His teaching. And so I really kind of talked about it from a different angle, Matt, this week that I've ever done before, and talk about alignment. How do we bring our giving? How do we take it forward from wherever it is towards generosity, biblical generosity, and cheerfulness? But how do we move it forward and have it align with what we say is important? We say the church and the church's mission, which is that the church exists for the mission, for the people of God and the mission. How do we bring alignment to what we say, to align it with what the Bible actually says? And so we're constantly aligning our lives. That's just one area that we try to have alignment. And of course, there's just so many benefits to tithing when we tithe, which is different than giving. But when we tithe, and even when we start giving, if it's a new thing for you, what it does is it acknowledges that God is God and we're not, right? And back to what you're saying about what we don't know. And it's just an attitude of worship and obedience and trust, and it brings stability to the life. You say, well, how do I give money to the church? It creates stability. Well, it's a reliance in your mind and your heart upon God, which is faithful to deliver. Right. So that's kind of the angle that we took on. We took alignment, and then we talked about the mission, because when we give, we're actually taking care of the mission. In the Old Testament, I won't try to preach it again, but in the Old Testament, hey, they brought their tithes and offerings because the Levites to take care of those that were taking care of the temple. That's what they were doing. God did that. And then they gave as well. There was no Meals on Wheels. There was no Social Security. There was no Medicaid, Medicare stuff. It was just simply the church. So the church helped take care of widows and orphans as well. And then just the basic operation. So it's not a whole lot different all the way from the Old Testament to what we do today. We take care of our staff. We take care of the people around us and ministry needs. We advance the mission, and we take care of kind of operations. And, it's not very exciting necessarily, as I said, Sunday, to pay the light bill.
Yeah.
The light bill has to be paid.
Everyone likes to have lights when they come to church on Sunday.
Well, we're in South Florida. Central Florida.
Yeah, Central Florida.
What about the air conditioner bill?
Air conditioner bill is the biggest one, and that's the one that people want the most. I would just say this. Maybe the best sermon you could preach on generosity would just be to turn off the AC for a Sunday. Do you like that? Like, do we like this feeling? No? Okay, this is what, sometimes it's just that practical. It's like, hey, look, there is this, God wants to do something. There is also the very practical side of it. It's just like, hey, listen, like, if we want to gather and enjoy our time together and make the most of it and have an opportunity to reach people, like, there are certain just baseline things that have to be covered. And unfortunately, we're not in heaven yet where everything's just, free and
That's right.
easy. And what a
That's
great
right. So yeah, there's and so we want to give. Of course, the church, as I was dealing with some statistics this morning, the church is experiencing inflation as well, and it was not related to our church; it's related to something completely different. But just reminded that the church's expenses in terms of just cost of doing business, which is not business, it's ministry. Cost of doing ministry has gone up.
yeah.
And again, I'm so thankful for our people, and I would encourage, it's in keeping with our membership. Our heart attitude is to support the work of the church financially, and that's part of what we get the chance to do together. We do it together. We help carry the load. We carry different parts, different size loads,
Yeah.
but it's all unto the Lord. And so that was Sunday, and I shared even last week, I think, about the new drawings, and I showed the drawings, and I pulled the images down, and we're going to have some opportunities in the coming week, this coming week, with the Tierra Verde Community Association meeting on what's the development on the front part of the island. We're going to have the opportunity to host them in our facility. We use our facilities a whole lot of ways outside our Sunday morning, and which our people have really been good stewards in that regard. And so we're going to host them, and they'll get the opportunity, if they want to take it as well, to take some of our print materials and maybe even put up our slides on the Vibe TV and let them see it. So it's a good opportunity for us to do that. But those drawings are going to start coming more and more into play, and this is going, as David Brooks says, snowball is rolling. This thing is going to really build up speed. And so I encourage you to keep giving towards our annual ministry needs, right? Our ongoing things. And then as well, in terms of our commitments to the Lord related to the building, because those have to work together to get this building done. So, but it's exciting time. People are excited in the community they're talking about it. I met with them this week, and they're talking about what's happening at Island Church.
Yeah. Awesome, man. Awesome. Those are great updates. Any other just kind of general around the church updates that folks need to know about, have on the calendar?
Well, it's just an encouraging word. We had someone, I won't mention who, doesn't really matter, but they were going to miss the men's group this past Tuesday. That meets at Tuesday for a little light lunch at 12, and then we're going through a book on the pursuit of God, and so that's a classic by A.W. Tozer. And so we're really enjoying that. And the men are sharing at a great level. There's just some great things happening. One of the guys in our church had to be out this week, and he said, "Can I just call into the group and listen by cell phone?" That just gives you an indication that there's some good things going on. So if you are able out there, any of our guys that would like to, we had some guys out this week just because of travel and some things of that nature, but it was really good. Our men's thing that's going really well. Leo's speaking into that as well. He's helping me in terms of providing leadership to that. Our women's group will be starting back in ministry this month. Grief Share starting this month.
Yeah.
Men are continuing. Momentum. And then down the road, in terms of our next big event for our community, is our Trunk or Treat in October. And so get ready for that. It's an opportunity for us to also really share about our upcoming building plans, because when that thing starts, we should have all approvals, all the exact date.
Yeah.
By in January, we're going to should have all the permitting, all the mechanical plans, everything done, and we're going to be ready to go if we line up the financial resources to make it happen. So it's a lot of great things happening, and we're going to use Trunk or Treat to both love on our community, engage with them, but also tell them in a unique way, I won't reveal now, but we're going to tell in a unique way what we're doing with our new facilities. It's really neat. We had a great meeting yesterday.
Absolutely. Lots of clarity coming out of that on kind of strategy plan, best ways forward. So yeah, it was very, very exciting to kind of get in the weeds a little bit more and say, okay, exactly how are we going to make sure that this is a huge success and make sure it's a great win for the community, for the church. And so, excited about what we have cooking up for that.
Yeah, it's good. So those are some of the things. And then in terms of just the needs of our church, I would just continue to say we need people to help greet. Our church is so welcoming. And our church, I do understand our people move around. It's like this happens. So we need actually more people engaged in various ministries, because people are constantly traveling, or not every person, but a lot of people. And so just sign up to help us with the connections team, and just to give a warm smile, a warm handshake, and help with the name tag. And the name tags are really working out well. We changed that a couple years ago, and that's just really helpful to us. And so those that are part of our church family and those that are new, all are doing the same thing. And so the connections team, and then we need some additional people to help us with Island Kids. What's going to happen when we get this facility? This area is going to really, in terms of opportunity, we've got to be ready for it. And so you can be an assistant teacher. You can watch for a while. The materials is laid out for you to do that. But I just encourage you to help us in that area. Stacy's kind of coordinating some of that. But certainly you can communicate. Sandy's taught some others have taught as well. And so step in and just let us know if that's something that you would be willing to give it a go. Because you may get in there and go like, this is not for me. Or you may say, hey, I really enjoyed this. So
I love it. Well, that's a great way for people to know, hey, here's how you can get plugged in. There's always an opportunity to serve. I think that's the key is whatever God's gifted you with, there's always an opportunity to serve. And there's always an opportunity for you to kind of get more involved at Island Church, because that serving is such a great way to build community as well. You get to know people. It's not just about, yes, it's for the people coming to Island Church, but it's also a great way for you personally just to hold some deep connections and deep roots with the church. So Pastor Will, thanks so much, brother. Any last words before we head out for today?
No, just looking forward to seeing our people on Sunday, and just saying I just love being your pastor and pastor's wife. And I can say, Sandy finished up this week her radiation, and so thank you for the encouragement, the prayers, and the notes to her. And we're just grateful that it was caught early, grateful for the medical people, and grateful to the Lord, all those working, and grateful to our people for their support and encouragement. So we know that, again, everyone has, when they come on Sundays, they come with new challenges, new opportunities, new hurts, new pains, new wins. And so when we come together, it's really important for us to come together to share that together as we try to advance the kingdom of God here on earth and help people come to know Jesus. And so that's what well,
thanks so much, Pastor Will. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you back here next week on the Island Church Weekly Podcast.